First and foremost, let me say this. She sounds dumb. There's no way that you're sitting here.
That's very professional. That's leadership.
This woman would not understand respect if Aretha Franklin came back from the grave and spelled it out to her.
In the long run, you have made me feel like an unhappy parent. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Can y'all make sure y'all get security in here? Because we're not going to do this today.
The drama surrounding Supervisor Tiffany Henyard just continues to grow and grow. The Thornton Township Special Meeting that was held on Friday, December 20th, 24, was just the latest chaotic episode. Everyone's voice was raised, insults were hurled, and guys, it was really difficult for me to follow because everyone talked over one another. The speakers were rudely interrupted with shouts and complaints and insults, and then the meeting was abruptly shut down when the attorney stated that someone in the crowd that was attending and speaking had a weapon. You're going to see that clip in just a moment, but I do think it's important to recap the meeting first to allow you to witness as the frustration grew and the bickering got louder, and then it led up to this incident. Okay, let's get into this.
And it was a contentious meeting today in Thornton Township. 2 trustees called a special meeting to handle essential business after boycotting other meetings with the township's supervisor. Courtney Sisk reports for us from Dalton.
Well, not much got done in Thornton Township today. The board was able to improve insurance plans for crime and cyber. However, their main insurance liability of the general fund still uninsured. Meanwhile, other trustees have questions that went unanswered today about spending, and therefore bills went unpaid.
I think you're the problem.
I think you're the problem, trustee.
That is what the majority of a special meeting in Thornton Township sounded like Friday, arguing between Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, trustees Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle, and the public. At times, Henyard threatened to have police remove people and insulted trustees.
Can y'all make sure y'all get security in here? Because we're not going to do this today.
Okay, guys, let's take a brief pause here so I can provide a little background information for anyone new to this story like myself. This alleged corruption has been going on for years, but it just recently showed up in my feed. So to prevent you from having to fall down the same rabbit holes that I did, I will share with you what I have found. Supervisor Tiffany Henyard is accused of misusing Thornton Township funds. She is supposedly taking first-class trips, staying in luxury hotels, and enjoying fine dining with an entourage of people. She supposedly spent over $40,000 on Amazon in one day, created a corrupt police department, and overpaid police officers. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, that brings up so many questions for me, because also Tiffany Henyard is the supervisor of Thornton Township. There are trustees in place, and they're aware of what's being spent. So I have so many questions as to why no one has spoke out, why no one has voted down these charges that's being paid, or in this case, not being paid, because now Thornton Township coffers are empty. The building is shut down for the township. They don't even have liability insurance to provide transportation for the seniors. And now it's a big issue. And now they're butting heads and bickering, and nobody's paying anything. So that's just what I have been able to dig up. If anyone knows better information, more accurate information, please feel free to share it with me. So you can take a look at what I found here.
January, we told you Tiffany Henyard and her entourage racked up more than $67,000 in travel-related charges in just 5 months. But that's just what was charged to Thornton Township credit cards, where she's the supervisor. When you add in what was billed to Dalton, trips for Mayor Henyard and her entourage cost taxpayers more than $100,000. We questioned Henyard about travel last fall.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
It should be noted that the former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is investigating for Thornton Township on behalf of most of these things. Now, that being said, you can understand if these allegations are true and the township is literally in the red and cannot provide services for the communities, that's why these residents are so angry. That's why the tension and frustration is so high. Okay, so let's get back to Friday's meeting where the attorney claims that the woman speaking has a weapon.
At this meeting that lasted close to an hour and a half, not much was accomplished aside from a lot of yelling. The township still remains without insurance on several major policies after they lapsed earlier this month.
Hold on, let me speak. But you're hold on, let me speak. You're not paying people. Let me speak. But you're not paying people, so I got a problem with that.
Insults flying at a tumultuous Thornton Township Special Board meeting Friday afternoon.
First and foremost, let me say this. She sounds dumb. There's no way that you're sitting here.
That's very professional. That's leadership.
Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard throwing most of the punches, some residents not hesitating to do the same. Right now, many township services in the government's main building remain closed. Henyard blames the lack of insurance coverage on crucial policies like auto and liability on Gonzalez and Carlisle for not showing at the meetings to vote. Henyard's motion to have all bills paid, including vendors, met with opposition by trustees Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle. The self-proclaimed super mayor remains at odds with the pair who she claims have failed to do their jobs.
We need to move forward. You don't want to pay the vendors too. Next.
You want to pay bills for having amended motion.
I think you're the problem.
I think you're the problem, trustee.
Meantime, other items, including an important tax levy vote, not getting the approval it needed.
Pass it the right way. Pass a budget.
Henyard is calling for the removal of the two trustees and threatening to take them to court over their failure to show at meeting.
Okay, so the supervisor claims that the trustees have boycotted previous meetings as part of a smear campaign against her. Now, if I heard correctly in this meeting, the trustees that were present have an issue with passing the budget because of the billboards that you're seeing in this little clip. Allegedly, Tiffany Henyard wants the boxes that are used for the food pantry and all those things. She wants all of that to have her image and her name on it. And they have an ordinance that says if that is the case, that the individual will pay for it and that the township will no longer pay for promotion. And Tiffany refuses to abide by that. If I'm understanding this correctly, let's continue on. We'll see.
She has a weapon, y'all. She does. And she's trying to let her speak. Yeah.
The lady in the black jacket that's standing up from the seat is the township attorney. And she's the one that's proclaiming that this attendee has a weapon. Now, it took me a couple minutes. I'm looking all over. Where's the weapon? Immediately, I thought a gun or something of that sort. And then it hit me. She's talking about the golf club that the lady in the green jacket has in her hand. When she walked in with that, I just naturally assumed that it was a cane and that she had issue walking. She needed some extra support. And I don't know either way what the situation is, if she brought it as a weapon, if she was using it as additional support to walk. But the attorney clearly states it as a weapon.
Why you adjourn? You damn right you better adjourn, because I'll tell the truth on your ass. I'll tell the truth on you.
You got your 3 minutes. Go ahead. Get your 3 minutes. You got your 3 minutes.
Because you ain't been here, right?
She's not on the list.
I'm talking.
She's not on the list. She's not on the list. I thought you had to go. She's not on the list. Second to adjourn.
You got your 3 minutes.
Second to adjourn.
Go ahead.
Because everybody want to talk, but nobody want to listen. That's right. You walk your ass on there. Because she was your decision. So the people would have a damn vote. And she was your decision. Don't vote for Christmas. Get all the ass out. Get all the
Guys, I wish that I could say that the chaos demonstrated at this Thornton Township meeting was a one-off, but it's not. All of the videos that I came across online show all the meetings are like this or more amplified, and essentially the supervisor and trustees cannot work together and refuse to pass anything to help the community. So make up your own mind, go over and check out the Lansing Journal. They do a fabulous job of reporting these meetings without any bias whatsoever. And you'd be shocked to find that in this meeting, or I was shocked, you may not be shocked, they had a budget for toys of $67,000. I thought that was excessive for a community that is in the red. And again, the supervisor says they're not in the red. The trustees just refuse to pay anything. I'm not certain. It's very, very confusing, and I'm not even a member of that community. But I do believe Supervisor Henyard missed a golden opportunity to try to do a little bit of damage control to her reputation, because as of Saturday, the Thornton Township building remained closed. Citizens could not get help with paying electric bills, the low-income residents, things like that. There was no food boxes for the holiday season. I don't know if that's because the food pantry doesn't have food because they couldn't afford to buy it. I do know that there was a big to-do about the actual boxes that this food was placed in, because it did have Supervisor Henyard's name or picture on it. If that's the case, again, she missed a golden opportunity to try to do a little bit of damage control. Get a fundraiser going. Get people to donate boxes. Ask the community to bring in their own bags or boxes if you have actual food, and give the community, the low-income residents, a food box for the season. And the same with the toys. There seemed to be some issue about whether did they already buy the toys? Could they not hand out the toys because they didn't have insurance? And if one of the children had gotten hurt with one of the toys, they could come back and sue the city. I mean, the township in this case. I'm not certain how all that works, but I do think there could have been some fundraising, donations, things like this to at least get food to the low-income residents. That's just my opinion, of course. Okay, guys, I hope that you will pay attention to this. This should be on everyone's radar, because corruption, particularly in these small towns, these small communities, has such a tremendous impact on the residents there. And hopefully, this will come to an end for Thornton Township soon, but it will take a long time for that community to come back from this. Okay, guys, let me know what you think. Go over and check out the Lansing Journal. You can do a deep dive into this situation, which is what I'm going to do myself, and have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks for watching.